Just come into the breath and breathing toward the one, and just hold a space for everyone to come into. Let's say the invocation together. Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Well, here we are again. I'm really happy to have this caravan moving forward, and I hope your practice is going well. Excuse me, I'm just a little hoarse. We're going to focus on a lot on the practice of Mushahida, Murshid Sam called Mushahida, and during this class. But we're going to start with some work on Chagall. So I'm not going to introduce the Mushahida practice right now, but I do want to just kind of reiterate what I said here, which you probably haven't gotten this part yet, but I think I'll just read this. Well, maybe I'll paraphrase. Last month we did a cumulative review of what we've done so far, and really I think this is the kind of thing that we ought to be doing ourselves continually, to keep coming back, to the fundamentals, to be going over this, to making this a part of our very active concentration, because without the fundamentals of the breath practices, without rhythm, without raising the pitch and the tuning of the heart, without concentrated attention, without constantly remembering oneness and overcoming apparent separation from the source of all being, no so-called advanced practices are possible, really, because those are the foundations. If you're not concentrating, your mind's wandering. If you're not in rhythm, your meditation is choppy. And if you haven't raised the pitch of your heart, you may be doing the practice, but it's in a dull sort of way. It's not full of life, it's not full of presence, and it's not going to have the same kind of inner and outer effect. We'll be considering another aspect of Chagall this month, as well as introducing a Mushahida. And we really want to do this without neglecting the fundamentals we've established as a daily rhythm, because otherwise people get very top-end confused, by thinking, oh, well, if this practice is advanced, then this is the one I should be doing. But we need to just keep rehearsing and going back to the fundamentals and coming through, and then these practices that that are kind of crowning practices, so to speak, of the lineage are just evolved naturally. Here's my prayer. May our practice answer the call of our soul to awake. May we be graced by the continuous remembrance of God's presence within the breath, within the altar of the heart, revealing the essence of our soul. That was just the guidance I got in the moment to say that, but I feel that that is a good practice for people to do, and it works for me, you know, because there may be unsettled issues that are deeper down here that one needs to really become grounded in a place of integrating, accepting your physical condition in a way that you can integrate it and bring that sense of God's strength that comes from acknowledging your essence.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
have
go
a
ahead.
further question, which is, this has been tremendously helpful. It's exactly what's been on my mind, what people have been asking. But a further dimension for me is that, as Gayatri was saying, I feel really connected to God during zikr and certain types of group practices, but when I'm by myself, it can feel harder to really feel that sense of, you know, divine qualities, to invoke, you know, an illuminated being and so on, and to really feel that presence. And so I think this, what we've just been doing, might be really good as a foundation for helping to get to that place. But I was wondering if you had suggestions for, you know, just how to feel that same sense of engagement with the more devotional aspect.
Well, I think that's something that is somebody has really got an alarm going today. That's going to be a real problem for our film editor at a certain point.
It's our practice, Wali Ali.
Yeah.
Don't attach any thought to it, just up and down.
But it keeps coming back.
So comforting to hear you say that.
It's something to notice, you know, that we need that a loving support, and how do we get there if we are just on our own? And part of the way is to draw strength from the community of people that we're working with, you know, from the guidance that's here, from the body of people that are in this practice together, from to draw strength. Everybody in here is doing these practices. We're on this. We're rowing this boat together. You know, so you feel when you're doing your practice that you are doing it with everyone, and that helps. You know, in general, if one has this sense that what I'm doing is a universal practice. When I am dancing, I'm dancing for everybody in the world. You know, when I'm breathing and sitting here and feeling presence, I'm doing this for everyone. Everyone is doing this with me. If we have that sense of inclusion in our sense of self-awareness with universal being, and just starting with those that you know are with you in this process, allows you to get over the difficulty of thinking that you have to do it alone. Finding oneself alone and wanting to, when we're with each other, we can feel the help of the loving vibration of other beings, and so it's really natural to do that, and that's a great advantage of the kind of form that we use in the Sufi session, where we're doing zikr and then we're sitting, and then we're doing a dance and then we're sitting, and so we're keeping alive that thing. But here we're trying to maintain a sense of continuation of practice when we are alone and at home and going through our various stuff, and so to remember that, I think, is powerful. Yes?
This is, I think, related, but one of the things that I have struggled with all along is the breath being a practice as it's related to me. My breath is related to me. So there's like this self-reference that that kind of bothers me sometimes when I'm doing the practice. And so, and then, you know, I know the instruction is to bring the source into the breath, but I get sometimes, it's sort of like there's some line, imaginary line that I create, and then what I found is sometimes sort of going beyond that and extending it out in different directions can be helpful and make me feel like it's not just me that's breathing, but that I'm breathing with everything. But so often I get stuck in the just it's me breathing.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, right. So, and really, who are you that's breathing? Well, who is the me that's breathing? You know, I mean, you know, we are this breath is us. You know, and the universe has a breath. So if we can feel that we are making space for that universal breath to rise and fall in us, then it's not the same as thinking I am doing it. You know, but I'm leaving space for it. I want to feel this infinite that flows right through this current of breath that is given in this body, and we need both. We need to have that sense of that, and at the same time we need to have a sense that this awareness that is riding here on this swing of the breath can alter it according to a guidance that comes that says, okay, this breath is dull, it needs to be refined. This breath is too irregular. It needs to be brought into rhythm. So this sense where you are able to become masterful in relation to this current that moves through you is the other side of it. But without that sense of God is breath, I'm being breathed by this. That is the very basis of what we're doing. This breath that moves through us is a very immediate way that we can feel the presence of God. And so this is, okay, God is present in me in this breath. God's breath is moving in me. You know, in this place that I am individuated and have my own awareness of self is a place where God is moving. It moves in the breath, and I have a vehicle here to receive God's presence. So I mean, that's our default place, is, you know, stop trying, be aware and attentive to how God is present in the breath, and allow that to shape us. I want to continue along this route, and there'll be more opportunity for questions. It is rhythmic motion which keeps the whole universe going. And the same motion is the hidden secret of our lives. So if we can feel the rhythmic motion of the whole universe that is going, and it's present in the rhythm of the breath in our life, we are a miniature universe within ourselves. We are a miniature universe within ourselves. Our breath is both the cause and effect of this rhythmic motion. So our breath is the effect of this rhythmic motion of the universe, but our breath is also the cause of it. So this is, we need to get both sides of this paradox. So just breathe in this way, aware that this rhythm that keeps the whole universe going is the same motion that is the hidden secret of our lives. Regard yourself as a space, an accommodation for what we are. In our understanding, make space for the whole, can make space for the whole universe. We are that akasha, that accommodation that is present in our inner capacity, can be as big as the whole universe. But just to begin with this feeling that the rhythmic motion which keeps the whole universe going is the same motion that is the hidden secret of our lives. Our breath is the cause and effect of this motion. Therefore, by Fikr, the Sufi sets their breath to the proper rhythm, and when it becomes a habit by a practice done every day, the rhythm becomes a habit of the breath. Feel the universe is moving in this rhythmical way through your breath. And your remembrance, your fikr of God's presence, you're remembering it as the breath comes in and out. Notice the difference in your breath when you really let go of your attachment that I'm trying to make it a certain way, and you're letting this universal rhythm of the universe move in you. And we can enhance this as we become attentive to it, and we feel this moving in us, we can enhance this attunement by using a sacred phrase such as Hayo Kayum, Hayo Yakayum. As you breathe in and out, these names that are the source of being itself. There's no being without the Kayum. There's no eternal life except in the Hay. And so you just feel that these eternal vibrations carried by the universe in your breath, expanding your accommodation of heart and awakening your sense of livingness without any particular effort on your part other than just remembering. Staying with the rhythm of the breath, breathing Hayo Kayum, Hayo Yakayum, letting that universe breathe through you, its eternal, ever-living being. Amen. And we notice that one of the most important things we can do with the Fikr is in the allowing. It's in the allowing. We just had a long wazifa intensive outside of Kansas City, 30 people, and it was beautiful because people allow things to happen. We make a space for remembrance, but it's not that we are trying so hard to make something happen. We are allowing something to happen in ourselves, and so that's makes it a lot easier, because this divine remembrance is not something new. It's just something that's covered over that we become aware of. It's that's the key for us is not doing practice, but allowing ourselves to receive and to remember as we are flowing with the practice. So the Fikr is where we are actively present in our concentration while this is going on. And in being actively present, we begin to notice that we do shape it in the flow. It's not our small will that is doing the work, but it is now articulating itself within the process of this flow. Let's do the Qasab practice together. Do 5 cycles as in our daily practice. Allah Shafi, Allah Kafi, as we in rhythm, and then holding it twice that long as what we inhale or exhale. Return to the balanced breath through both nostrils after you complete this practice. Just feel the condition of your breath, light, spacious. Both inhalation and exhalation have an effect upon the atmosphere, and it can be harmonious or inharmonious in relation to the atmosphere of another. But when the etheric element is present, it transmutes the nafs, the ego mind, and prevents inharmony. The etheric breath is developed through training and grace. Both inhalation and exhalation have an effect upon the atmosphere, and it can be harmonious or inharmonious in relation to the atmosphere of another. Now just think about this for a minute. How does inhalation and exhalation have an effect on the atmosphere that you're in relationship? Someone else's breath, your breath? Look at your relationship to the atmosphere of a situation as being a relationship of breath. What are you giving out through your breath into that situation? Or what are you receiving from the breath of that is present in that atmosphere that changes? It's very natural to just be kind of tossed around by the vibrations and impressions that are in the atmosphere, or to, when you are triggered, to be the source of lots of it. And what happens if at the same time as you are participating in this inhalation and exhalation affecting the atmosphere and being affected by the atmosphere, if you remember the silence out of which it all comes, the peacefulness, the etheric condition, and bring that sense of the infinite, the eternal, the spacious into your breath. Open up all the pores in your body. Breathe through your whole skin and feel the presence of infinity and spaciousness, silence, voidness, permeating the breath, the inhalation and exhalation. And as you bring the ether into the breath that you're in now, as you're visualizing this situation of affecting atmospheres and being affected in the atmosphere by inhalation and exhalation, now you're bringing ether into the breath of your contribution to the atmosphere. Notice how something changes. you find it becomes a lot easier to do this practice of attuning and having sympathy for a person or a situation and not taking it on and being marked by it and being brought into that effect of that impression, because the ether is like Jesus' words. It says, resist not evil. So the ether allows you to be with that vibration, but not resisting it, passing it right through the emptiness, and therefore affecting it in a way that is harmonious. I find this a very powerful practice to do, and it's amazing that it is so powerful because it's just a matter of remembering as we're doing it. How do you find your ability to get in touch with ether, the etheric element in your breath? Is this something that you I see some people are nodding and others haven't said anything, but I want this to be something that we have real easy access to just by remembering it. Anybody with anything around the ether breath? Yes.
Well, I was sitting with a patient yesterday, and these rooms have no air. There's no fresh, there's air, of course, and ventilation and all that, but there's no fresh air, and it was such a beautiful day yesterday, and so I opened the window, and they they guard the whole thing, so I opened the window, and I was sitting with her, and I could feel the transformation in the room I couldn't feel the air coming in because I wasn't by the window, but I could feel the enlivening of the room from that fresh air coming from outside. And thank you for this. It's the same thing. It's just the same thing. But I share it because maybe it will, be an assistance for others to just go there. That's where it is. If you're wondering, it's really right here. So
It is here. That's the wonderful thing. So we don't have to worry. We just need to let go into it and to open up for it. And this, we're going to work some more with the ether today, but I think let's just, let's take up one more thing before we break and we do something more active here. Qualities in a person's breath that show you where you are in your practice. As Murshid says, it's power, it's sweetness, it's rhythm, it's breadth, and it's tonicity. So let's just take these up one by one, looking into our breath. Feel the power in your breath. What's the state of the power of your breath at this moment, just to feel it. what's the breadth of it, the volume, the bigness of it, or smallness. How sweet is it, or sour? What's the sweetness of the breath? How much happiness is carried on it then? What kind of rhythm does it have? And what sort of tone does it strike? Now, having noticed these conditions in your breath at this moment, ask yourself the question, is there something I can do very gently here that will increase the power, the breadth, the sweetness, the tone, the rhythm? And just let that happen. Being aware of the breath's ability to do this. And having just responded in that way, check in again with the qualities in the breath. Its breadth, its sweetness, its tone, its power, its rhythm. Okay, now let's do the Kalama dance.
La
Let's say Khatum. O thou, who art the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, Lord of heaven and earth, open our hearts that we may hear thy voice, which constantly comes from within. Disclose to us thy divine light, which is hidden in our souls, that we may know and understand life better. Most merciful and compassionate God, give us thy great goodness. Teach us thy loving forgiveness. Raise us above the distinctions and differences which divide. Send us the peace of thy divine Spirit, and unite us all in thy perfect being. Amen. So just taking a few moments, and with all this powerful vibration, and love and energy we have here, to just consciously share it with everyone we're connected with in life. Offer it on all the channels of communication, all the places in which Spirit speaks to Spirit. Amen. Thank you all.